Hi. It's been a minute. Actually, I've recorded 2 videos, already, but I never ended up posting them, mainly because I had a lot going on. But I thought I might as well catch y'all up on where I've been and what's been going on in my life. So I think it's probably been a month or longer, probably a month and a half, I'm not sure exactly when I last posted. And I've been promising on making a video soon, and I haven't. Y'all have been waiting, and I haven't. And if I'm being completely honest, because you know I am, this past month has been one of the lowest points of my life. Honestly, I have been debating whether or not on lying to you, because it just seemed easier. But then, that would defeat the entire purpose of my channel, right? It's the point of my channel is to get the hard stuff, get the real, what actually matters, what's really going on, So, that's what I'm gonna do. About the end of August, I ran into a lot of trouble with my schoolwork, struggling with motivation. I didn't even play video games or anything anymore. Stopped hanging out with my friends. And I took a break with my boyfriend. 2 days after I took that break, I attempted to end my life. And a day and a half after that, I was admitted to the mental hospital. And I was in there for about a week. Legally, they had to keep me there for a week. I got out, probably a week ago, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not even sure. I'll fact check it. But that's basically where I've been. And I really was hoping to make videos, but I've spent the last week catching up on schoolwork that I had missed, and that I just hadn't done because I felt so terribly. But I would be lying if I said it didn't work. I still feel bad. I still feel like I messed up, and I feel an immense amount of guilt for what I would have done. The fact that I gave up so easily is painful to me to think about, because I thought after all this time struggling with mental health and that stuff, I'd be able to handle it by now. But I didn't. And I messed up. And it almost happened. I just counted wrong. If I hadn't stopped, if I hadn't passed out from being so tired, I wouldn't be here right now, which is insane to think. I couldn't believe I was leaving everyone. My family, my friends, my boyfriend, everything. And I had a seemingly amazing life, right? You look at it, you open me, read me like a book. My life is perfect. And yet, still, something was wrong. And now, you guys know, or I should have mentioned, I write in journals frequently, all the time, my entire life. I've been writing in journals. I wrote in a journal before I could even spell. And all of that was subject to being read by my parents. And that hit like a brick. Actually, that hurt so much because I had definitely written about them. And one of my parents in particular, I had written pretty poorly about. There was good stuff, but there was a heavy on the bad stuff. And while I was in the hospital, not able to talk to her except for a 10-minute phone call, she had to read it all, start to finish, because that's what the doctors told her to do. We still haven't really talked about it. She told me she read them and she hasn't brought any of it up, but I know it's eating at her. I do feel bad because our minds tend to lean negative, obviously. But now she knows everything I've thought, everything I've felt. So does my dad too. And it kind of put things into perspective. All the things that I thought if they knew the world would end, it didn't. I felt a sense of relief, knowing everything I'd felt, everything I wanted to say so badly to them. They finally knew. And it didn't change anything. It didn't change how they saw me, and it didn't change their love for me. And I wondered if my deepest, most painful and regretful moments were read out loud to the people I care most about, and they still accepted me without hesitation, then can I stick around? I could tell you about the events of what led up to why I tried to take my life. Though, honestly, I don't even remember it that well. I do remember, however, a brief moment after I had done what I'd done, and the reason I'm not going to say what is because I don't want anyone repeating it, obviously, is sitting on the floor with my cats, feeling awful. And all I could think about was how I was leaving them behind. How they would never know what happened to me. Because in their minds they couldn't possibly comprehend. And it was soul-crushing to think about. And all that played in my head was, I fucked up, I fucked up, I fucked up. I thought I would have a sense of freedom in leaving, right? That's what people describe, but it wasn't that at all. It was a mix of fear. Because here's the funny thing. We escape the world, leave it, ending our lives, because we're afraid of the unknown, afraid of what will happen if we stay. But the fear doesn't set in until after, when you realize you don't know what's after here either. It's just another unknown. So why does it feel safer? I think it's part of wanting a sense of control. Wanting to feel like being here is your own decision. I guess that makes sense. Especially when the world tries so hard to make you feel so powerless. Make you feel like you don't have any choices. That your life's predetermined. But it isn't. You can choose. But the choice is scary. Because it's easier when somebody else chooses for you. Giving up your own free will. Because if you didn't make the choice and it's wrong, then you can't be blamed. I don't know if that makes sense, but it made sense in my head. I didn't know till after I got out that this month is literally Suicide Prevention Month. Suicide Self-Awareness Month. Sorry. I think that's the word. I saw that reel the day I got out, and I was like, whoa. Wow. So all over my page I've been seeing stuff about it. I remember the weird feeling of telling my parents what I'd done. the drive to the hospital, the fear of what I'd have to say to the people, to my friends, to my boyfriend, to everyone. I could lie, keep it a secret, like I could have done with this video, but what's the point? Because my parents still love me. The world didn't end when they knew everything bad about me. So maybe the same would be for them, for my friends. Though I'll say when I got out, it wasn't perfect. There are a lot of ups and downs, and still quite a few downs on my road. But what I learned in there, I will carry with me forever. And I'm not talking about the coping mechanisms or the therapy. None of that really helped. I already knew 90% of that, but what helped was the people there. Not the techs, not the nurses, but just me, a group of 15-ish girls, all in the same boat, all sticking together, just trying to make it one more day. I'd say it's one of the happiest weeks of my life was in there. If I had my phone, I would have loved to show you guys. But we weren't allowed to have them, obviously. And I'm going to miss those girls, especially the close ones I made. Currently, I'm in the outpatient therapy, which is a group therapy for people who are, you guessed it, not an in-unit patient. It's pretty nice, but it's not the same, right? When I got out, I still had that lighthearted feeling of while I was in there. But it took less than a day for that to turn around. I told my friends what happened, but I had a really bad argument with one of them. Turns out all those boundary lessons in therapy were actually working, and I was standing up for myself for once. I attempted to make up. I apologized for what I'd done wrong. She apologized too. And then she did it again. I haven't talked to her since that happened. Haven't answered her texts either. I guess I'm starting to realize how much I was disrespected in that friendship. Because she's my best friend. And I told her I needed her, and she wasn't there. And I'm not saying like I just didn't feel good. I meant it was bad. I was in the mental hospital for a week. But no, that didn't matter. You were tired. Insane, right? She said the reason she didn't want to hang out with me was because she thought she couldn't help me. But I never asked for help. I never asked for a fix. I just asked her to be there. So that's one of those reasons that I haven't been posting. Also been struggling with my boyfriend because he's amazing and I don't feel worthy of him most days. And it's hard to accept myself, love myself enough to let him love me, if that makes sense. I'm trying hard to stop people from just brushing me under the rug, but also stop myself from disappearing into the background, creating comfortable distance so nobody gets attached or hurt. The truth is, that's no way to live. Because there are good people out there. I know. I found them in the oddest of places. But although it hurts that I got into an argument with my best friend and we're not on good terms, I feel good standing up for myself, making me a priority in my own life. Not just accepting the blanket sorry and letting her hurt me over and over and over again like I always let her. Partly, I know I am to blame for never expressing how I felt and how she hurt me. It's why I apologized when I lashed out. But the fact that she did it again kind of showed me all I needed to know about her. Said she hasn't been feeling like herself, been going through a rough time, which pissed me off even more because I was like, who could be going through a rougher time right now? And I'm not just saying that, like, I get why she would be going through a rough time, but I'm always there for her. When she'd call me late at night, and I get in my car and I drive over without a second thought. When I was out with my boyfriend and I got that text, without a second thought, drove all the way home just to comfort her. And I did it a lot, consistently, way too much, honestly. And I think now she's taken it for granted so much and realized she never had to do the same for me. It's funny how long I went without knowing that. And this amazing, wonderful, perfect best friend I thought I had wasn't that at all. And I still love her, and I still want to be good friends with her, but until she learns to value me as much as I've valued her, I don't think I'm going to be hanging out with her much anymore. Maybe my absence will either prove that she cares for me or prove that she doesn't. Whichever one comes first. So, that's kind of been my past month. There's been other stuff, but that's pretty much what's been going on and why I haven't been posting. I really appreciate all of you guys still sticking around and being like, you just disappeared off the face of the planet. But, yeah. No, I had to take some time for me. And I didn't want to show my face because I'm just not feeling like it right now. And I wanted to still put this out here. So, yeah. But I love you guys. Okay, stay hydrated, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.